Ooh. I find it funny how this is my painting hoodie, but there's barely any paint on it aside from like this and here, and then like some of the arms. I need to. That just goes to show I need to paint more because there isn't a lot of paint on my hoodie, so it don't look like I'm an artist. It just looks like I'm dirty. A little bit of both. It's that. All right, welcome back to the channel. You heard? It may sound like I lost my voice a little bit because niggas was lit the other night, but this is gonna be a different type of video today. It's gonna be more relaxed in a way. Yeah, the video today finna be more relaxed. It's more of like a how-to video, as you can see by the title, because one of my friends needed some help in drawing facial features, especially women. So yeah, I'm about to teach y'all, the op fam, how to draw a face. Let's get into it. Alright, so like I said, this is gonna be more of a chill video. So I do have a reference picture, and I'm gonna tell y'all from the start now. Most artists use reference pictures. So if you're using a reference picture to make your art, don't feel bad about it, because literally all of my art comes from reference. Because I cannot draw from my mind, because I can make the most fire art piece ever, right? I try to do something from my mind, it's gonna come out like second grade art do, like one of my moms, bro. Like, so if you're using reference pictures, that's fine. Just make sure you use more than one, or you switch it up a little bit. That way you don't get called out for plagiarism, feel me? So let's get started. So I'm gonna put like the reference picture like somewhere right here. So we're gonna start with the face. So what I'm gonna teach y'all is two things: the face, and then like your higher part of your body, because that's what she wanted to know. So if you look at the reference picture, you can see that her face is a bit more square than oval, like her forehead, for instance, right? She got a hat, so that hat is gonna be like right here. That's the hat shape. But her forehead is like a squarish shape, so it's gonna be like right here. So move this over a little bit, and then you just do that. But like it's a little bit more elongated, so you're gonna go down a little bit more, right? And then like maybe somewhere around right here. You could see from the side there's like a little bone that goes out this way, side of her face, because her hair is gonna come out like this. So like you want to start with a rough sketch of what you're trying to get. Start off with a rough sketch, because it doesn't matter. As time goes on, you refine it. So this is her forehead, and so her forehead is like not too big, but you want to make sure you have enough space for it, right? So her face is at the direction, it's like almost diagonal a little bit. So you do want it to come out like this almost, right? So then her jawline comes out a bit much. Oh, she got a nice jawline. Period. Do your thing, dog. Alright, so and then the bottom of her face is more of like a triangular shape. So you wanna make a triangle type, and then so this is where her eyes are gonna be, like this region right here. You want to leave space for the forehead, because everybody has a forehead, no matter how big or small it is. So eyes are right here. There's gonna be a space for the eyes. So her cheekbone pops out a little bit, like right here. So where the cheekbone at, you wanna, don't try to get the full shape just yet. Just make like a rough example shape, so you know, like, okay, this is where things are gonna go, this, down, the third. So like it comes out like right here, and her jaw is a bit more straight, like that. Comes out like that. Okay, so now there's the point where you just start erasing a few things and fixing a few things. Like right here, I made the cheekbone pop out a lot more than it actually does. It's exaggerated, so you want to like flatten it up a little bit. And then, as you can see where her neck is, it completely like follows the line. So just make that line for the neck. So you just gonna do that. And then the other part of the neck is right here, but because there's shadows that blocks it, you just wanna go right here, make a little line, because then if you look at how her body is shaped, her arms and all that is like right here near the hair and like the back of her body. I don't know how to explain it, but it comes out into like a little hunched up because her shoulder is up here. Her shoulder is actually like right here by the cheek. So you want to like make sure you get that type of motion too. Well, not motion, but positioning. Okay. So after you get that type of positioning, you want to make the ruffles of the clothes. And then, boom, straight like that, right? Now this is where you start to refine it. So one thing I learned lately is you want to start off with the nose, because the nose is the center of the face. So as you start off with the nose, you'll eventually get everything else in place. So let me get the hat worked out, and then we'll come back. Alright, so here the hair comes out too, so you want to just make a little rough outline of what the hair looks like. So it doesn't come out, I mean it comes out a good amount, but because of how her head is, it just curves around a little bit and it comes right back inside. So you don't want to do too much, that way it won't lose its shape. Just want to make a little rough outline of where you're going to position your things. So she has some hair that comes out like right here, there, and it comes out here a bit more. So I know y'all see that. Yo, the texture of her hair looks immaculate. You can see the little curls on the bottom over here. Okay. All right. So now you have the base sketch of what you want. So now we're gonna move on to trying to get some facial features on here. So with the type of face that she has, it's almost very symmetrical. So this should be a lot easier on me. You want to open the cheek, make the cheeks a little bigger, because it's not that small. And like her face isn't like, when it comes down to her chin, it's not as sharp as I made it. It's more of a square, well, close to square, not almost squared out, but very close to it. So you want to like make her jaw just pop out a little bit more. You don't want it to be too V-shaped, because it's gonna give you anime character vibes, and that's not what we're going for. We're going for like a little bit semi-realism. I'm not gonna go too crazy with the realism, because this is like for beginners. All right, so now you start with the nose. The nose is like somewhere right. The shoulders here, right? The nose is like at an angle almost, right near. Oh, that's too angled. Nose is like right here, near the shoulder. So I'm just gonna shape it that. Then if you look in the nose, it low-key gives you like a little Goomba shape from Mario. So just keep that in mind when making the nose. Me, I'm not gonna put too much detail. I'm just gonna get a rough little outline of what I think it looks like. And then after you get that, right, little nose holes here and there, you up a little bit, good. Now you want to get the lips, which is a bit lower than the nose, but you gotta make sure you leave space for the chin, because the chin has this little highlight that goes right here almost. So let's say right here. So you want to erase your line a little bit because it's not centered. So you make space for the chin, which is like right here, like that. Just up a little bit. And then for the lips, some really nice lips too. Okay, like maybe right here. If you look at like the curve thing of the lip that looks like this, it matches the curve of her nose when it goes down like this. So just match that with it, right? As you do that, and then there's like two hills, I'll call it. Make two balls for the hills, right? Get that V shape in the middle, make the two balls for the hills. And then there's like, hers doesn't go down as much, but it's like a little dip that goes like this. So we're not gonna make it too much dipped, because there's a lot of people that their lips are exactly like that, like completely dipped, but a lot of people don't have it like that. So with her lips, you wanna bring it down a little bit, because there's a curve to the lip. And you do the same thing with this side, because she it's not a smile, but it's not a completely straight face either. So you wanna like try to find that middle ground for the emotion that she has. And you erase the circles a little bit so you can see what you're doing. And then the edges of her lips match up exactly with her eyes. So you know this is exactly where the eyes are gonna be. And then with the other one, it's the same thing. It matches exactly with the eyes. So this is where the eyes are gonna be. So now you just go ahead with the lips. Don't make it too pointy because she doesn't have those type of lips, right? And then it's more of a straight, so you want to go down a little bit, and then just two minor bumps, nothing too crazy, just two minor bumps like that, and then it goes up in a curve. So you just bump, curve, up, straight like that. And then, as you can see, you want to make the bottom lip reach right here, because the bottom lip is about the same size as the top lip, but not a lot. So you just want to make this a little sharper, because I noticed some of the edges aren't as smooth. Make that a little sharper, right? And then you want to put this little thing out right here. And then you just build your bottom lip. Two circles like I did with the other one, but this time make the little indent for the bottom lip. There's always this little indent in your lip, so you want to, the lip is also not just like straight forward at you, it's a little bit curved. So you want to curve this bottom part because it goes down like that. Curve it, and then just bring it up a tad bit, just like that. Right, it's curved. And then you want to erase some of the darker parts on the sides over here. Oops, see, now that I erased it, I noticed that it's not indented in as much as I wanted it to be, because there's a slight little indent. So once you get that indent, you just want to do a little curve here and then bring it down like that. Because as you can see on the lip, like around here, there's a slight indent on the lip. It's the little details that count, because a lot of people have small little details about their facial features that really make them who they are. Because with those details, it's what they're like. Some people, that's what they're known for, those little details they have on their face. And even if you don't draw a face exactly 100% how it is, the little details that you add makes it very easy to identify who the person is, because that's what they're usually known for. Like, and those little details include some stress lines, smile lines, beauty marks, all that. So we're gonna get this popping soon enough. Just edit out little details. Look at how the lip is. A little small line here. Well, not small line, but almost like a smirk almost. And now you wanna just get the line right. And keep in mind that like you're gonna have to like blend out your lines, because you don't want to have harsh lines when you're like making a face. If you're going for that realistic and not cartoonish look, you don't really want harsh lines. So let's just do that. Now as you can see, there's like a slight smirk, so that's what we're trying to get. But I'm still trying to fix her face, because her face, like right here, this part is like, it's the jowl, I don't know how to explain it, like this side of the mouth comes out just a little bit more. There you go. but not too much so it doesn't look too crazy. Okay, it's been such a long time since I've like completely drawn instead of painted. Because ever since I started painting, I just been doing it day in and day out. So things like this, a little draw session, sketch session, it's fun for me. Okay, so as you can see, there's like a little shadow right underneath where the chin starts. So you're just gonna do that for now, and then we'll handle the rest later. So like I said before, you can see that the eyes match up with the mouth, right? So before we do that, as you can see, there's like a little shadow that comes right here, which is like the line for her cheekbone, which ends a little bit underneath the mouth. So we're just gonna get that in there. Now, as I noticed, the chin, well, not chin, the jawline comes down a bit more. So I'm just gonna just do that real quick, get that in there. Now you wanna always make sure you don't make the jawline too harsh. Round it out a little bit, or else it's gonna start looking like a nigga, and we don't want that, feel me? Because it is a shorty, and a bad one at that, feel me? So you do that, boom. So now you wanna focus a little bit on the nose and just start to refine that. So the nose is a bit more of a triangle shape when it comes to the bulb of the nose, like right here. So let's get that in there first. More of a triangle, rectangular shape. As you get that, it's 2 circles, like that. And this one, since it's like at a sideways type of motion, so you don't really see it as much. So you just want to do like a slight little half circle. Now you want to erase the triangle part, or the 2 lines going up, because her nose completely is a straight, almost a straight line with like a few wavelengths on the bottom, like right here. So you just want to get that a little bit shading, gonna make it a little dark over here. Okay, now as you got that, you just want to erase the few imperfections so it doesn't take away from the piece. So now you just want to, her nose is really cute. Like, it's really small. That's really, I mess with that. Alright, so you just want to like that. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because as you make the mistakes and you start to refine it more and more, you get where you want to be. So you want to make this a little straighter, because as you go up, it's like a little curve. And then for her face, her eyes, you just want to have that curve ready, because her eyes go boop and then boop. Almost, yeah, like that. And her eyes is a little bit more on the wider side. I don't know if it's a filter or if that's just what her eyes actually look like. So just want to, for the nose, get that little thing in there. Run out a little bit. And then it does have a little like curve, but like you want to go soft with it. Don't make it too big or noticeable. And then you just want to put the highlight right here. You put that highlight there. There's a highlight here. You just put that little indication that there is a highlight over there. And the forehead, there's a highlight right here. Like, it's highlighted a lot here. So you just want to make sure you have that in there. Highlight for the forehead. And then let's just get the hat. I'm really not liking the way the hat is looking. So I'm just gonna do a rough little thing. Cause the hat is a bit bigger than what it looks like. So the hat curves at the top. So like right here. Like especially when you're drawing faces, you don't want to stick to just one part of the face, because you'll eventually get tired of it. And that's when you start messing up. So make sure you feel free to like move around. Don't stick to one part. Start at one place, and then once you feel like, okay, I'm getting tired of looking at the same thing, try something else, another part of the face. That way it all comes together. All right, so the hair comes out like right here. So perfect. And I don't know if you can see it, but like there's like the hair, it does this little curl thing where it's like 2 tubes almost. Like that. It comes out like this. Like that. And then the tiny little tube here, and then boom, like that. And same thing goes for this part. It does this little curl thing. And especially with hair patterns, when you're like black hair patterns, you don't want to like make it too, it has to be it has to be very free flowing. Because the more, I don't know how to say it. Like when you make it more circular or like whatever shape you make it, that's when you start messing up. Because like hair is free flowing. It doesn't have a specific shape. You start off with that shape as a base shape, and then you just start doing your own thing. Just make squigglies and all that until you're ready. But the key thing to remember is not to draw hard. Don't press down on the pencil. Go as light as you can so you could build up. Okay, so now that you have that, there is a bit of shadow going on, like right down here. So I'm gonna start putting a little bit of shadow so you can just tell where things go. All right, the shadow. See, if I was painting, I would like literally outline where the shadows are, so I would know where to put the paint in specific places and all that. So then there's like a bit of shadow right under her chin. Right there, some shadows right under her nose. Shadows like right here inside of it. Now, I did make a bit of mistakes right here, so I just erase that. Right, some shadows over here. And like I told y'all before, it is a little harsh and we don't want that. So we are gonna have to like smudge out the lines a little bit. Right, just make it a little bit lighter. And then there's shadows right down here coming from the hair. And then if, oh, I wish I was painting this because I would have really went off with the paint. Okay, so now let's move on to the eyes, right? So before we do the eyes, we want to do the bridge of the nose, which is like right here. She does have a highlight right in the middle of her nose, like I mean the bridge, like right here. There's a highlight. So you do want to like bring that out, and then there is like this little curve of her face. Just keep in mind, you gotta remember, as a skeleton, it's like a huge hole. So yeah, you just wanna get that curve right. Okay. Let me back down from the shadows a little bit because it's a little harsh. All right. Now, keep in mind with the neck has a shadow too, which is like right. Just all of the shadows go down here. And down here, so let's just get these shadows in. You don't want to start off hard, just a little something. Don't go crazy. It does get a little darker down here though, so just get that in there. Okay, so as you get that, then you just draw. You draw the shape of where the shirt is. So the shirt has like this slight curve to it. Just like that. Comes over here. Alright, so I added a few things, a few little details, because I wasn't liking how it was looking. Like, I don't know, I couldn't tell what was wrong with it at the time. So I took a minute to look at it. So the cheek, I made the cheek extremely like, it looks a little fat over here, but like her cheekbone's a bit more skinny. And if this was a painting, I would have easily been able to fix that because it was just about highlights and all that. But since this is a drawing and I'm using one mechanical pencil to do it, so that's just a bit more of highlight and shading to be done. So here, there's a highlight over here, which is why there's this like little circle thing. Okay, so the hair comes out a bit. So I'm gonna do the band for the actual, I think she has a beret on her head, or I think that's what it's called, very least. Okay, so it comes out to the edge. So let's just see if we could like round. You don't want to make it straight because it isn't straight. When you round it off, it gives like a more realistic look, and it also gives you like a bit of depth and perception of where exactly it is on the head and what exactly it looks like. So I did right here make it go up a bit too much. So we're gonna erase that. And then you're just gonna follow the line of how it goes. Now it doesn't need to be perfect since this is just a sketch. And you just bring it down a little bit like that, close to the edge. Okay, work on the hair a little bit so that's hair. And then you just, now you start refining the beret a bit. Refine that beret, get it up to par with what you're looking for. Now, don't be afraid of how you draw the beret. Just go crazy, I'm telling you. Never try to get exact shapes. Just go crazy until you find something that suits what you're trying to make. Because that's what I do. I never look for exact shapes. That's why I usually don't like my sketches. Because my sketches look a bit crazy at times. But it always works at the end of the day. So then there's a little bit of overlapping over here. And bring it down a little bit. There's like a slight, I don't know if you can see it, but after like a few years of just working on shadows and highlights, you like, it becomes easier seeing where shadows are. So like here, there's like a shadow that rounds it off like this to make it look a bit more 3D. Shadows that go down here. There's a few shadows that go up like this too. What I'm really seeing is this one shadow that's like right here. And it goes down here too. And it just shows like a little indents because it's not perfectly round. It's a 3D object. So there's like ins and outs and all that. So now if I had my paintbrushes, I would do the little gradient almost, because this has a highlight here. It has a highlight in this portion, and then it's like dark going up here. And here there's a whole lot of just whole lot of everything. So you're just gonna do a little, make it a little dark here. And since I'm not really that good at making a lot of like detail, like I'm not good at little details at all, even though it looks like it, I promise y'all, whenever it comes to art piece, the less details I have to do, the better. But it always ends up looking nice. So I'm just gonna do whatever little, whatever the hell this is, and you just go around with it. So there's like a few circles here, so we just boom, circle 1, circle 2, circle 3, circle 4. Let's just leave that how it is, blend it in a little bit, and then add a few highlights. Then boom, we're just gonna leave that how it is, because that's not what we're focused on right now. Now you want to focus on the face, because that's what you're trying to really get. So now highlights over here, we're gonna make it a little dark over here so the highlights could really pop out a bit more. All right. Okay. Now let's get to the actual face. So we're gonna erase this little lines that we have put and the little dark parts. So as you can see, with her eyes, it has like this little cat shape, I would say. Not fully, but you just bring it. Hold up. Her face is like a bit more squarish like this. So I'm not liking how indented it is. Okay, now we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, let's bring you down a little bit and bring you up like just like that. And let's do that. A bit of that. A bit of this. And then you just want to erase a little bit so you get that highlight. Okay, that's a lot closer to what we're trying to get. And then you do want to erase just a tad bit because you can see that it goes in like this. But the hair is blocking me from seeing that, so we're just gonna like that. Okay, good. Now let's get the eyes done. The eyes, it's almost slanted too, so it's like this in a way. I really wish I had my ruler right now. This would be a lot easier to get. So you want to start with the bottom. Well, it doesn't matter how you start, but I like starting with the bottom because she does have a cat-like appearance based on how she did her makeup. There isn't a lot of makeup going on, but the eyes for sure have some thing going on. So you just curve that a little bit. Get up here. Make sure this sticks up as much as you can, right? And let's see. You want to bring that up right there. And with this, close to the exact same thing, but this one is a bit more curved. So you want to like that. Ooh, perfect. Curve it. Now don't be afraid with the harsh lines that you're doing for the eyes, because it's not that serious. You could easily erase it after. And then just shade a little bit. Really, drawing is just all about value. And right now it looks like her eyes are closed, but in reality it is open. So we go right here, make like that little circle thing, and boom. Like that, and down. Now I do believe this goes farther a little bit more. So I do want to like turn it here, and then she does have a little thing that goes like this. And it goes down a bit. Like this. Boom. And then you just want to draw that little wing that she has. Ooh. Bring it up a little bit. Down right there. Now, one thing you need to know when it comes to eyes, it's not fully white at all. So you do want to shade it in. I wish I had a blending stub, but I don't. So that's why I'm using my hands. But it's all good when you're doing art. There really isn't rules, even though there is rules. So let's just get a few lines in there. And then with the eyes, especially at the bottom eyelashes aren't very close together, if there are any at all. So you just want to, and I can do a little video on eyelashes too, if anybody needs help with that. Just ask away. Okay, now after putting all your shading that you wanted to put in, now you just erase a bit in a circular motion until you get exactly what you're looking for, like right here. So it's like stops right here. So let's just, before we draw the eye, we want to get some of the eyelashes on there. Eyelashes are never straight, just a rule of thumb. Eyelashes are never straight, it's always curved. So never draw eyelashes straight, because then you look stupid. Okay, so we have that done. Let's push you out back a little bit more. Get you over here. Okay, good. Now let's do the other eye. Let's erase this little line that we have put here. So like I said, keep in mind, this right here is a highlight. Okay. So a little dark over here, because there is a shadow going up like right here. And then you want to erase a little bit of the eyebrows, because she doesn't have a lot. I mean, she has, but it's not as long. So you don't want to exaggerate it too much. And then you do want to erase a bit over here, because she does have some type of highlight over there, whatever it is. Now you come to this eye. Same exact steps and methods. You just want to, this one you want to curve it a bit more because of the direction of the face and everything. Oh, and this eye, you can actually see her lashes a bit better, if you would say. So, and she does have, the bags aren't big, but there's just a tiny bit of baggage right on her eye. And just shade a little bit, shade here a little bit, shade down here. And then as you shade, you apply highlight. And by highlight, I mean just erase them. and the face starts taking shape. Put some highlight on top of the lips. Highlight right. Okay, so let me. Boom. Now you just apply the highlight. Erase that a bit. Just put some highlight over there. And then the face, the shape over here, you just want to erase a bit more for a highlight. I'm telling you, drawing is all about highlight and shadows and value and all that. Once you get that down, you're literally able to make anything you want. Just gotta know where to put the highlight. There is a slight little thing over here. Let's do that. Right there. And this curves out a bit more too. Just like that. Now, I do have a feeling that I made the face a little longer than the actual picture. I don't know if that's just me, because as artists, we criticize our work a lot. So, you know, sometimes I might just be wrong and I'm just too harsh on myself. But I personally feel like it just doesn't look right. But, and then I just curl the lashes that she has sticking out. Like that. See if we can get this over here. And let's erase a bit because this isn't as heavily concentrated, I think would be a proper word to say. Okay, like that. And then, like I said before, make it dark and choose where you want your highlights to be. And then, just want to go a little bit overboard with the highlights and the values. Like that. Perfect. Perfect. A bit more when it comes to highlights. And then with the hair, we'll do the hair afterwards. I know damn well my lead did not just jump off. There we go. And a bit more of that. Love to see it. Okay, a bit darker down here. Because the neck is always the darkest part when it comes to drawing anything. So you just really want to accentuate on that dark neck part. And then you just want to have little highlights too. That way it gives a lot of depth. And put some over here, and then you just highlight as always. Get that highlight popping, girl. Get it popping. Now, as you get the highlight popping, it starts to take shape. Just like that. Okay. Now, before I do the actual eyes, I do want to work on the eyebrows. Before I do the eyebrows, though, let me work on the bottom of. See, I brought this up a bit more, and it kind of took away from the shape. Okay. Now, we do know the highlights over here, so we're going to make it darker on these parts of her head. Make it a bit darker over here, too, because that's where most of the highlight and shadows are. Make it a bit darker here and here. Let's see, some darkness down here. Make it a little bit more darker. Okay, now we getting somewhere. Make it a bit dark over here too. On the lips for sure needs to be a bit darker. Now we want to apply some highlight to the lips. Highlight to the top of the lips. You know what I wish I had? I wish I had a mechanical eraser, because those are so perfect for highlights. It's not even funny. Like, it's not even funny. All right, so a little highlight over here. Perfect. Highlight over here for effect. Perfect. A little bit of highlight over here. Now there is some good amount of highlight over here. Let me get the bottom of this nose because I feel like it doesn't have enough darkness. Okay. Now you do want to make the nose a bit darker too, but with the nose, you need to know where to precisely highlight. So let me show you. Highlight over here. All right. And there's just a bit of highlight over there. I might go over this with like some white gel pen just to make the highlights pop out more. But I don't really know how that would look since this isn't a very refined picture. It might look shitty, it might not. We'll just have to see. So we just blend that in a bit more because we do not want it to be harsh. So highlight. Okay, so as you're doing that, let's take care of the hair real quick because we do want the hair to actually resemble hair. So we're gonna choose where we want to darken things up. We darken it up like right here, right? Darken it up completely. And right here too, where the hair curves a bit, you want to darken that up too. And you just use your finger, completely darken that up. And then you want to darken down here too. Just like that, darkened. And then you get here. Now we're gonna finish the hair and then I'll get back to you. So I did tweak a few more things. I moved the chin over a little bit because I wasn't liking how sharp it was. Now I do want to put a bit of highlight over here. There's a bit of highlight on the bottom of the chin too. So we're gonna do that. And I did fix the lip. I popped it out a bit more. So I moved it in. Because that's just the shape of her lip. Right in there. Perfect. Okay, good. Now we got what we want. We'll come back for the highlights a bit later on. So now let's fix the eyes a bit. Get it how it's supposed to look. Because there's a bit of highlight right here on the top of the eye. Here too. And then we just blend that in a bit. Now you want to get to the eyebrows. Her eyebrows is a bit of a curve. So you want to see that the eyebrow actually matches right down. So you know where the stop is. Stops like right here. So you just got to find the shape you're looking for. My advice to you is start small. When anything you draw, start really light and start really small. And try to figure out the shape. And as you go, you find the shape. And then just go off with it, man. As you find the shape, you go. Keep going. So you get exactly what you're looking for. So just a bit like this. Now you can go a bit darker to show the like strands of hair. And you shade a little bit, and then you can take some off. That way, it's a bit more realistic. Okay. So let's bring this back a little bit. So it is coming out a bit much. So perfect. So now with the other one, you just want to go curve a little bit because I did say the head is moved in a bit more or turn to the side a bit. So you do want to curve that too. Like that. I really enjoy making this video because it's been so long since I've done an actual sketch. So I might have to make more of these educational videos a bit more. And keep in mind, if y'all have any questions, y'all could comment down below. Y'all can also give me suggestions on what y'all want to see next, what y'all need more help with. Because I am starting to enjoy making these videos because this is really relaxing for me. And I get to help you out, which makes me happy. So comment down below, you heard? Okay. Now we're starting to get where we want to be. Just use a bit of the eraser, erase a bit off. You do want to make it a bit darker around here. Use your highlight to fix that. Fix this. Do that, do this. Dang, and we're almost done. Now, you just want to put a few highlights here. Make it a bit darker over here. This is like the edge corner piece. Make it a bit dark over there. And then with the eyes, you don't want to make it too circle, you don't want to make it too oval. So what I like to do is just make lines. Make just any line. I don't draw circles, anything like that. I just make lines. And as I make the line, I try to find a shape that most represents what I'm looking at. This probably isn't the ideal way to do it, but this is how I do it, and it helps me out. Because your eyes always end up looking weird. Like here, she looks a little bit cross-eyed, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna move this over a bit more, see if I can help her out to look normal. Okay, I think that's the best it's gonna get. So now you choose where the highlight's gonna be. In her picture, the highlight's like right here. So you wanna start off light, completely light, right? So as you start off light, you get that. And then it gets a bit darker on the inside of the eye and the outside of the eye. So you just blend that in a bit. Blend that in a bit. Right? And you want to leave the highlight. Find the highlight where it is. And then keep going. A bit more. You want to get the eyelashes right. That right. This eye is looking a little wonky to me, so I'm just gonna take some away from it and see if it looks any better. It does a tad bit. Let's see if this helps. Maybe give it a bit more highlight so it's a little bit more noticeable, I would say. All right, so we'll stick with the eye the way it is now, and we'll see if we could add anything to fix it. Anything. It's crazy how the first eye always comes out great, but once you do the second eye, that's when everything wanna goes to shit. All right, let's see. So get that down there. That's close enough. I'm not tripping. Does she look a little cross-eyed? I'm not liking that. Oh, okay, I see what it is. So it does, she does have like this shadow thing here, and it does come out a bit like this. Okay, there we go. Come out a bit. And we're gonna put some highlight to fix that. Highlight here. Gonna highlight around the eye here. Oh my God, this eye looks so wonky to me. All right. And one thing I wanted to tell y'all, when I'm doing things like this, feel free to draw with me. Like, draw along. Do what y'all want to do. Like, this is a vibe. We're just vibing out, feel me? So if y'all want to grab something, draw along with me, just have a good time, feel me? You can't never go wrong when you draw, feel me? That's one of the things I really like about art. They can't tell you that you did it wrong or right, because it's art. You make things that make you happy, and it's based on how you feel. So, is there really a wrong or right? The world will never know. Even if you try to tell you what you're doing is wrong, just give them a nice little fuck you. Nah, don't do that. But you know, if they being assholes about it, then yeah, definitely don't let nobody test your gang stuff. What you talking about? Like, yeah, we do art, but we ain't pussies out here, feel me? But period, like I said, do what you gotta do. This is coming out a bit more cartoonish than I intended it to, but it is fitting the vibe, so I can't be mad. And just like that, we might be close to done. Let's just bring this down a little bit, because that might be the reason why it's... Why is it giving me Ariana Grande eyes for some reason? I'm so weak. Okay, let's see. So I think one place I messed up the most was making the lips a bit bigger than it actually is. So I'm just gonna see if I can, it's not as sharp as that, so it's like right here. So let's see if I could erase a bit of that. See what happens if I just make it a bit smaller. You know, it's always fun to tweak things up a bit. Like once you're done making the gist of what you want, it's always good to tweak it up a bit. Now, I don't know why, but it looks like the lips are like pouting almost. I don't really like that. So what I'm going to do is make it a bit straighter. Like so. And then we'll have very redly. Keep in mind the lips are round, so you don't want to round it off at the end. And make it a little bit darker on top. Add a shade and an edge of highlight. Okay, this is the best it's gonna get. Okay. Now, all you want to do is add a highlight and you'll be done. Alright, so you don't want to wow out with the highlight, because this isn't a very refined photo, so we'll start off with you don't need to do this, but I'm just doing this as like a final little touch or whatever. And there's some highlight over here. Just like that. And then the lips do have a little bit of highlight too. Now, just keep in mind not to go ham. You'll be fine. Put some highlight right here. Even though it's not as like bright, it's fine. And then, only thing left to do is sign your work. Straight like that, and then you're done. Alright, so I really do hope y'all enjoyed that video. It's a little bit different from what I usually make, but you know, sometimes you gotta make some things that are informative so you know you can help people. Feel me? I don't have a lot of experience, but I can still help you. But yeah, it's been real. We're almost at 200 subs. So we at 180 right now, so you know the vibes. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, comment down below, and turn on your post notifications so you know whenever I upload. We're back to uploading weekly, which is great. But yeah, and if you're new, you know what to do. Road to 1K. I'll see y'all later. Gang.